I was lucky as well to have my boss. Now he was my mentor during internships and he helped me a lot. He's very experienced, but he also wanted to see how well I perform under pressure of not knowing what is going on. But I have a timeline. I must do it in a certain time. So there's a lot of pressure there. And sometimes I felt insecure for being new to that kind of environment, but I like the challenge. And I think besides the research as well, the mentality, the mindset is very important. And I always thought to myself that if there was a problem, there must be a solution. I just had to find it. So never giving up is also important.
Welcome to Latinx in Power, a podcast hosted by Thaisa Fernandes.
Welcome to Latinx in Power. Today we are talking with Guilherme Abreu. Guilherme is a dynamic person who transitioned from a background in sales to becoming a software engineer. He's a software engineer working on innovative vending solutions. We are excited to showcase how his diverse experience have contributed to his success in the tech world. Welcome, Guilherme.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. And it is lovely being here. I'm Guilherme, a full-time software engineer. Also, I do software development, and I'm more than happy to share my experience today.
Incredible. So in this episode, we'll learn more about Guilherme's software engineering intern journey, touching on his path to software engineering, internship projects, lessons from setbacks, excitement about emerging tech trends, and actionable advice from aspiring engineers. The first question, how do you feel connected with Latin America, and do you consider yourself a Latino?
Definitely, without a doubt. I was born in Brazil, raised in Brazil. I lived there for 13 to almost 14 years. I moved out about 5 years ago. I'm 18 years old now, so I'm definitely very well connected. Right now, maybe a little less with terms of, politics and stuff like that and how the country is going. But yeah, I definitely consider myself a Latino.
Incredible. And how does the experience for you, like moving to another country, being the Caribbean, tell us?
It is definitely life-changing. I went from Salvador Bahia, which is a big city, a lot of tall buildings and, there's a lot of stuff to do, to Grenada in the Caribbean, which is a way smaller city. So in the area where I was in Brazil is basically the total population of Grenada. So it's it's relatively smaller compared to where I was, but it's incredible. Here I can say the life here is simpler and it's safer. And the English, of course. I love speaking English. I love Portuguese. And yeah, it's just been an experience and I love it. So
incredible. I love that. And can you give us an overview of your career, your background, and how you got into software engineering? How was your process?
Yes, I was introduced to information technology as a whole in secondary school. I wasn't really focused on it. My really good friend, which is my business partner today, he really brought the idea to me to, follow that path of information technology and software engineering. So I graduated high school and I went to college, which is a 2-year program in information technology where I learned networking and basics of programming and hardware jobs. But after my 2 years, they placed me into an internship at Vending Solutions, where I began doing heavy software development and software engineering. And I really put in the work. I think I did a good job and they kept me. So that's where I'm working now. I'm also have a company with my friend and we do software development locally and internationally. So we do web development and custom softwares for anybody that really wants some sort.
Awesome. That's incredible.
Thank
Can
you.
you tell us your experience being an intern and the challenges, the highlights of your experience? And congratulations on moving so fast from intern position and having your own business too. This is incredible.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's exciting. It's very exciting going from studying to learning the concepts to actually going to real life programs is very exciting. It's very different from my expectations in particular. I wasn't ready when I was placed in the internship. It was a shock for me because during school, I used to play with small softwares, that I used to build from scratch. And then going into the internship, I was basically working with real life, a large scale business software which has thousands of files, and I didn't know anything that happened on it. So it took me a week to just go through the files and get used to what I was seeing, and a lot of research. This is one thing that is very present in software development, software engineering is research. You gotta figure the same in the companies, figure out yourself, because a lot of stuff you're not gonna know at first, but after you research it and then you research again, you figure it out. So it's definitely different. Moving from school to internship is very different. And yes, I totally recommend trying, even though you may not get in the first one, just by being there and getting the experience is very valuable for the career.
I love that you mentioned research, and this is such a valuable skill. And I can imagine in software engineering, but I would say in any role, you need to be able to research. Sometimes like Googling things, reading different materials, but also talking with people and asking them questions. So I like that you mentioned that.
Yes, definitely. I was lucky as well to have my boss. Now he was my mentor during internships and he helped me a lot. He's very experienced, but he also wanted to see how well I perform under pressure of not knowing what is going on. But I have a timeline. I must do it in a certain time. So there's a lot of pressure there. And sometimes I felt insecure for being new to that kind of environment, but I like the challenge. And I think besides the research as well, the mentality, the mindset is very important. And I always thought to myself that if there was a problem, there must be a solution. I just had to find it. So never giving up is also important.
Awesome. I love that. Do you have any story that you want to share with us that taught you like any like valuable lessons that you want to share with us?
Yes, definitely. As an intern, you make a lot of mistakes. Do not be scared or do not be, phased by the mistakes you make because it's normal. And if you make a mistake, you can fix it. So there was one story going to the end of my internship. I was asked to basically update the software. So just, the changes I've made, just update the real software where it was being hosted. And I'm an intern, so that was the only information given to me. And everything was good on my side. The updates were good. Not the updates, the changes were good. But when I went to update it, I just kind of went in all like head first and I forgot to back up what they had. And when I called my mentor and then I told him I updated, I was really happy because it was basically my last task. He asked me, did you back up what we already had? And I was like, damn. And then he told me this is one of the most important rules for software is always back up what you previously had. Because if there's any mistakes, you could go back to it. And there was mistakes. I broke the code a little bit. So I spent the next maybe 2-3 days really hurting my head and trying to figure out some high level software engineering thing that I didn't know. And at the end, it was good. I was able to fix it.
That's incredible. And then you never forget, I'm sure. So yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely. It's lesson learned. Stays in your mind.
Back up. Okay. And one important thing that I wanted to talk with you, the tech industry changes so fast. I feel like now we're kind of like stuck into like AI. We just talked about that. But besides AI, I'm just curious to hear from you. There's any emerging technologies or trends that you are excited about or intrigued?
Yes, definitely. In the tech world, everything just goes so fast and then they are evolving as we speak. By the minute they are researching and finding out new things, how to improve it. And right now in my area for software, especially in web development, there's a lot of tools and a lot of features being developed, such as WordPress is not really new, but is really useful. I particularly don't use or like WordPress due to the drag and drop. And I believe coding, like using frameworks, you could get a way more scalable and is more customizable. So I like to use frameworks, especially for coding. I love the backend, especially. That's my area. That's what I work mainly with. I do know a little bit of front end. I like to hurt my head at the back end. And I was trying to figure out, stuff and how to build them effective functions. But with technologies, AI is the main thing. Everything is being automated nowadays. So yeah, and cloud is now emerging too. It's been emerging, but now in terms of software, I believe it's way more present than it was before. And yeah, cloud technology is a good path for somebody that's trying to get into software.
Yeah, that's a good tip. And what advice would you give for someone who wants to get into software engineering or like even tech in general? Like, which advice would you give?
The advices I'll give is be focused. That is the main thing. You gotta be focused and like what you do. And after that is mainly not giving up, because challenges will come and they'll always be present. But you gotta stand still, you gotta hold your ground and figure things out. And then at the end, it always works out. If it didn't work out, it's because it's not the end. It's one thing I like to say. And yeah, it's a good path. Just study, be focused, and everything's already in the internet. You just have to figure out, where is it. It's a good path.
I think the future is easier in a sense where we can search a lot more things online. For instance, with ChatGPT and stuff like that, you can find a lot of answers. So what are your thoughts about it?
Yes, I think definitely is getting much easier with ChatGPT and, these AI bots like Google Bard. And yeah, I personally use ChatGPT for some parts from, if I'm not mistaken, 2018 going down. ChatGPT have a lot of resources and saves a lot of time. Indu is a very powerful tool, but you have also forums like Stack Overflow and smaller forums that really help you out, so you could get experience from other people. But yeah, ChatGPT and other AI bots, they are making our life easier in the researching.
Incredible. And at this part, I like, because I enjoy like hearing from people what are the resources and things that help them in their career. Is there any resource that you want to talk about and recommend to other folks?
Yeah, in software engineering, I would recommend as well looking into, if you're in school and you're learning at the moment or you're thinking about learning, I would really recommend looking into real life problems, real life situations, because I think one of the problems with mainly degrees and what I've realized from, transitioning from college to internship is they will teach you a lot of the concepts, but the real life problems and how you solve them at work and at the internship is very different. So yeah, looking at real life situations is really important and getting used to it. There's a lot of tools. There's a lot of, in every software, it could be different. So depending on which path you want to take, just take a look in it in a deep research so you get more familiar and you don't get scared like I was.
That's incredible. Really, really good advice. Guilherme, thank you so much for your time. I want to leave the last minutes for you to share anything you want to share, where people can find you, and also more about your business.
Yes, we are doing software, web development, and custom softwares. We are currently working on a couple projects, but feel free, guys, to contact us. The email is teamaccelerative@gmail.com, and feel free to email us anytime. We'll reply anytime for if you guys are wanting a software and wanting websites done fast. Definitely we'll do that for you guys. So yes, this is the email. For now, only the email you should be able to contact, but yeah, we reply very fast at any time of the day.
Incredible. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That's it for today, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. I would love to hear your thoughts about the podcast and the episodes. Please message us with any insight, any feedback you might have, and also guest suggestions. Message us in your favorite social media platform. We are in all social platforms. And if you want to write us in a review, we will love that. Feel free to write us in a review on Apple Podcasts, Audible, Amazon, or any other streaming that you like. Thank you.